13th, Christ in me will be believing all things. His grace enables us to not be suspicious of others, but trusting God's plan. This action of love makes me completely trusting God and believing the best about others. Love sees weakness, but throws a mantle of silence over it, bearing all things, and then believes the best. You see how these actions are interrelated. If we are going to make a mistake about someone's character, we should err on the side of love. Make a mistake in trusting or believing them too much. The Corinthians were evidently believing the worst. They suspect and assumed everyone was wrong. They were suing and doing all kinds of stuff. They had a predisposition that others were evil. And so they were cynical and suspicious. Once you start hating someone, you will try and find their faults. On the contrary, once you start loving someone, you start covering their faults. Remember it says love covers a multitude of sin, 1 Peter 4. Last two, Christ in me will be hoping all things. Even amid repeated disappointments, there is a constant assurance God has a future and is working all things for his own glory. Love refuses to take failure as final. Think about that. Jesus wouldn't accept failure from Peter. Paul wouldn't accept failure from the Corinthians. Many a grace-energized, loving wife has held on to a struggling and falling husband. Many a grace-energized, loving parent has held on to a wayward child, and many a loving friend has held on to a fallen brother by just holding on to this Spirit-prompted hope, not accepting failure as final. Hope does not persuade itself that the thief is honest, but holds tight knowing that that thief was made for honesty, for purity, and for glorifying God, and holding on to that hope that God will change them and not giving up on them. Finally, Christ in me will be enduring all things. This Greek term translated endureth in the King James is a military term. It has to do with being positioned in the middle of a violent battle. The emphasis is not on handling little minor annoyances. It refers to a love that stands wounded and bleeding against incredible opposition and still loves. When love is resisted, this endurance clicks in and doesn't give up. Love never fails. Love never dies. Love doesn't end. Love cannot be conquered. This is the love that took Jesus to Calvary. As it says in 1 John 3:16, by this we know love, because he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren. How sound and healthy is your love this morning?